Hello everyone and welcome back. I hope you're all doing okay today. I hope you all enjoyed Valentine's Day yesterday, and I hope you are all looking forward to what is going to be a big game on Saturday as we take on Bournemouth at St James's Park in a match where it has to be 3 points. We dropped 2 stupid points to Luton Town in the last game at St James's. Of course, we've lost the legs of Nottingham Forest. We lost it in the last minute at Manchester City. So this time it has to be different. But we're here today with some Newcastle United news because we've got 2 major stories we need to talk about that has happened over the past 24 hours or so. Now, of course, Dan Ashworth being the main one, you probably would have already seen most of the stuff going on with him, so we'll talk about that in this video. But secondly, unfortunately, the news that has just came up before, it's been confirmed by Craig Hope that Callum Wilson has picked up yet another injury. This time it is an injury in his pectoral muscle. It's not even a recurring one that he tend to has in his knee. It's actually a brand new one in his pec, and he's going to be out for at least 2 months, going up to potentially 12 weeks, or being 3 months. It's what on earth? He's been injured yet again now. I've defended Callum a lot. I'm going to defend him some more, but I've got to be honest now, I think he's played his last game for Newcastle United. Surely you're going to sell him in the summer. You can't keep a hold of this guy. He's such an unreliable player. You need players that are going to be there time and time again. Now, the problem with Wilson being injured yet again, it puts so much pressure on Alexander Isak. Now, he has to play every single match. When you've got the likes of Blackburn midweek, he then has to play 2 times, 3 times a week. It's too much for the guy. I don't think Isak's an injury-prone player, but the reasons why he's been picking up so many injuries is because of the fact he has to play 3 times a week. It's just way too many games for any player. But just before we get into the 2 major stories, as for upcoming content now, if you guys want to get involved with one of my videos, I'm actually doing one where it's Newcastle United true or false. So in the comments section, put down below is any true or false questions about Newcastle United or about myself, and I've got to answer them in the video. So it'll make more sense when I do the video itself. But yeah, leave a comment down below on that. If you enjoy the content, make sure you get down there, hit that subscribe button. Of course, we will be at every single match this season. Smash the like button you enjoy. Now, we'll begin off by talking about Mr. Dan Ashworth, because he's the big one, the 2. And I'm not going to lie, actually, I don't mind him going to Manchester United. I actually don't have a problem with it. Now, I know for some of you guys watching, you're thinking, well, oh no, we're losing our director so soon. We're losing the guy that's meant to be the blueprint in this football club. But there's actually quite a lot of beneficial things that Newcastle gets out of it. Now, the first major thing being is that the fact that now, Dan Ashworth is not like a signing. It's not like buying a striker. It's not like buying a midfielder where the options are quite limited. You can't spend a certain amount of money on FFP. Newcastle are quite fortunate where you can get whoever the hell you want in. I think especially directors as well. There are a lot of talented people out there. People that are going to do a good job, and people that will ultimately be wanting to come to Newcastle. Newcastle's a great project. We've got such a prospect future. There's so much behind the club. I think it'd be quite easy to replace Dan Ashworth, and with all due respect to Dan, there's probably better options out there as well. I think we probably could improve on him and do better as well. So that's the first positive for Newcastle. I don't think he's hard to replace. Secondly, as for Manchester United, so they are desperate to bring Dan Ashworth in. So when Dan actually left Brighton to come to Newcastle, he went on something called a gardening leave. So that pretty much means that he has to spend about a year out. So when Newcastle says, yes, we want to bring Dan Ashworth in, he's not allowed to work straight away. He has to pretty much take a long break. Now, Manchester United does not want that break at all. So that means they have to pay Newcastle compensation. And that's not a minimal figure. Like, to actually bring Dan Ashworth in and pay for his gardening leave, we're talking like millions upon millions of pounds, if not maybe around the £10 million mark. It's a serious amount of money to be able to get Dan Ashworth in straight away at Manchester United, which is what they want to do. And on the FFP, that can pretty much buy Newcastle a new player. Like, that's quite good for Newcastle. Like, you actually will be able to get like a decent amount of money off that, which will go back into the football club. So I haven't got a problem there. Now, I don't know Dan Ashworth personally. I've met him a couple of times. I can't say I know the guy's character much, but I'm not overly keen on him, to be fair, because you've got to think about it, right? He was at Brighton, he was enjoying the project there. As soon as Newcastle knocked on that door, he wanted to leave straight away. 2 years at Newcastle, with 1 good season, getting to the Champions League. Half a season later, the guy already wants to go elsewhere. Manchester United knocking the door, straight away wants to go to Manchester United. So let's say 2 years from now, a team like Arsenal, a team like Chelsea, a team like Liverpool comes in, he's probably going to want to go to them as well. I mean, this guy, I think, especially for a director, where you have to believe in the club project, you have to believe in the mindset, the schematics of a club, you understand what players you want to bring, you understand the background, the culture of the club, you understand all the different youth teams, the women's team. The fact that the guy wants to jump ship straight away, it doesn't paint him in a good light. I'll be honest. I think I don't know why he wants to do it. I think Newcastle is a good project. It's not like it's a prime Manchester. I mean, this is a pro Manchester United team that is just done bad things with money. They haven't been great. It's one of the worst times. I know they have picked up a little bit of form, but it's still one of the worst times in recent years for Manchester United. The team is just not that good. I mean, I wouldn't really say it's an upgrade in terms of Manchester United's project. It's just the fact that Manchester United's a bigger club. I'll imagine as well he's probably going to get a much bigger pay rise, which will be a big factor in him leaving. But for me, I thought it was a bit odd. I don't understand why he wants to leave Newcastle straight away. I know we've not had a great season on the FFP. We've probably been a bit restricted. I imagine his point of view will be a bit frustrated by it. But Newcastle's still a good club with a good prospect and a great future ahead of it. So the fact the guy wants to leave straight away, I don't think looks great on him, if I'm going to be honest. But at the same time, maybe there's more than what meets the eye. But for me, I was a bit puzzled by it. But in all honesty, I don't mind the guy leaving. I actually think it will benefit Newcastle quite a bit because of the money and compensation we'll get directly off Manchester United. And I think we'll also replace him quite easily. As for Callum Wilson now, he's the sad one because he's been at Newcastle for a good few years now. He's done wonderful things, especially under Steve Bruce. Completely saved our backside from relegation. Someone that has bagged a serious amount of goals at this football club. Definitely a brilliant striker, and someone that has got a great work attitude. Someone that gives 100%. But this is now another injury, and it's not in the same area. It's not down in that knee. It's not where he's constantly had those injuries. It's now up in the pecs. It's a completely brand new injury. As I mentioned in the intro, the guy is made of glass. He's such an unreliable player. You need players that are going to stay fit throughout the season. We know with Callum Wilson that will not happen. And I feel like there's so much pressure on his side because if he gets injured, then what are we going to do? Play Anthony Gordon up front? We've got nothing. We have absolutely nothing up front if his side gets injured. And we're starting to feel in other areas of the pitch. I think centre midfielders is a big issue. We've got Tonali's ban. Now, we've got a report in the Chronicle that Tonali's ban could actually be extended. It's not even been done with the FA yet, so what a nightmare that is. We've got to focus on his 1 year ban that's been given by the Italian government. We've now got to think about this one from the FA. So it could potentially be extended, his ban. So that's another concern you've got to think about, whether Tonali is actually going to be allowed to play as early as the start of next season. And now the centre midfielders, we've got barely anything there. Joelinton's out until the end of the season. We now got Callum Wilson out until potentially the end of the season. It's just, I mean, we have been plagued with injuries this season. It's been a bit of bad luck, but at the same time, with a player like Wilson, this is not someone who hasn't picked up an injury before. He gets so many. I just can't anymore. I don't think this club is sustainable. This is a guy that's in his 30s. I think this summer will be the last real opportunity you can actually cash in for him. Now, Newcastle had a bit of a chance to sell him in January. I know, I think it was Atletico Madrid wanted him on loan. I think there were some rumours that he could potentially go on a permanent somewhere, but it never came to fruition. I think now, £15+ million, if you get that for Wilson, snatch it and go. You'll not get one more good season out of him. I think you might get a few goals out of him, but you'll not get more half a season out of the guy. So you're looking maybe 10 goals max. He has an unbelievable time. I don't think it's worth it. I think he needs to go. I think it'll be hard to replace him because you need to spend a good amount of money, especially in a strike. I think in today's transfer market, it is quite hard to bring a striker in. But with Wilson, I think it's the end of the line for him. I've loved him at Newcastle. I've loved his time at the football club. He's done wonderful things for us. But he's unreliable. He doesn't stay fit, and it has a massive negative effect on the squad. I just don't think we can do it anymore. And I'm going to be honest now, if I had the opportunity as the owner of the football club, I would sell him in the summer. I think a lot of people are probably going to agree with me now. Some of you guys may disagree and think, well, his value's still high enough where if we sell him for £15 million, he's going to be extremely hard to replace. But for me, you've got to look towards the future. I think we've got a lot of players at this club now starting to become deadwood. I think the likes of Matt Ritchie have to go. If De Bradker wants to go in the summer, I've liked him, to be fair, since he came in. But if it's a player that's not keen in this club, just get them out. We've got to get some money in for these senior players now, and we've got to start to reinvest in the team and try and get some youngsters in and just build up. Because if we were able to sell like Wilson, as much as I don't want to say it, like to Trippier, to Bradker, you Rich, you get a little bit of money here, it will probably prevent you selling the likes of Bruno, Joe Linton. It's like it will stop you selling your top players. So if you can't sort of able to work around that and sell a few there, I guess the B+ players, you might be able to keep the A-star ones. So that's kind of my mindset behind it. Wilson has to go. I think we're at that stage where there's no more of this. I don't want to see anyone in this comments section going, Wilson needs to stay in our season, we need to back him. I backed him a lot of seasons now. It's ridiculous amount of injuries he's picking up. I just don't think it's sustainable. I think we've got to sell him. I think if we keep him one more season, his value will decrease. I think it's already decreased by the time we get the summer, but I think it'll be even worse. So if you want to get any money for him, it has to be this summer. No excuses. But yeah, that was mainly the topics in this video. Sorry for a bit of negativity there, but listen, there's still plenty of positives to take out of it. I think the Dan Ashworth situation is not actually that bad in my personal opinion. I know the Tonali stuff and the Wilson stuff's not ideal, and I think this season's just been massively held back by the fact that we've had all these injuries and suspensions. But in all honesty, you get past Blackburn, the FA Cup year, then one game away from Wembley, one match. So it does depend on who we draw. I think any team at home you can probably take. If you get a tough away game, though, I'm a bit worried at that stage. But I think probably about half the draws still left in are quite realistic. I think Newcastle home or away should be beating about half of those teams. So it depends on what draw we get if we do in fact beat Blackburn. But I definitely potentially see a Wembley trip on the cards, which I think is... Listen, you told me at the start of this season, I know it's easier to say it now, but you told me at the start of the season, we'll have a decent run in the Champions League, go out in the group stage, yes, but have an unbelievable experience against some of the world's best teams. You have a Premier League campaign where it's been alright, a drop off, yes, but it's still been pretty decent. But we're going back to Wembley. Would I took that? Probably, yeah. Well, I definitely took a trip back to Wembley. So it depends on how you look at it. It depends on how you guys watching perceive the information, how you guys personally want to go about things. But I wouldn't say no if you tell me you're going to get a trip to Wembley now. So let's see how things go. Let's see how everything goes on. I apologise for this ginger cat, by the way. It's not even my cat. He's just a very excited boy. But back on topic though. I think Newcastle have got still got a decent season left. Yeah, we need to get past Blackburn though. Beat Bournemouth. I think Arsenal away. It's a big ask. If we can potentially get a result down there, that'd be great. But I'm not expecting anything. Maybe the best way to go about that one. But I think you guys will enjoy yourselves anyway. This cat is just mental. But hope you guys have enjoyed watching. Let me know your score predictions on Saturday. You want my personal opinion? I personally think Newcastle will win, maybe 2-1, 3-1. Stop biting my neck. But I personally think Newcastle will pick up a decent result. Appreciate you guys watching though. All the best. Let me know your thoughts about Wilson and Dan Ashworth, and I will see you all in the next one. What is he doing? Yeah, I don't know what this cat's doing, by the way. He's mental. But yeah, take care, guys.